Those of you that have been following the channel for a long time know that I love talking about those budget bang for your buck rod and reels, right? Those sub $100 setups that just get the job done and catch fish. However, I love my high-end stuff. I love my mid-range budget stuff. And that's what we're gonna be covering today. In today's video, we are gonna be covering the top 5 reels under $250. This is obviously my opinion, so if you guys have different opinions, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this, because there's a lot of choices to be had here, but these are just mine. So let's get it done. Okay, so for the first reel in this list, this is number 5. It technically could be in another video. It could be in a top 5 reels under $100. However, this reel does come in at $110 at a lot of stores, so that's why I decided to save it and use it for this video, because no matter what video I had it in, this reel is still one of my top 5 favorites, and that is the Shimano Nasi. This reel right here is hands down, I mean, it's just overall, no matter what price point you put it at, it could be under $1,000. This is still going to be one of my favorite reels of all time. This thing fishes so much better than just a $100 reel. These things are fantastic, especially for that $110. As you guys see here, I have a 4,000 size and I have a 1,000 size, and these are actually the old model Nasi. There's a new model that is out now, and it's more of like an all silver, and those ones, in my opinion, could be even better than the old model. So it's really cool to see Shimano, upping that technology every single reel. Shimano's trickle down technology right now is insane, where they're taking some of these, $500, $600, $700 reel, features on these reels, and they're starting to bring them down to all of their mid-budget reels, and it's coming out incredible. And this is one of those examples. They're getting a lot of the new features that some of those really nice reels are getting, but at an insane price point for the average angler. Another nice thing about these is they are saltwater ready. This one right here, I have taken 5-foot sharks on. I've taken a 28-pound halibut on. Let's see, what else have I done? Oh, lingcod. I've caught lingcod on this thing. Rockfish. I have done everything with this reel right here. I believe, I've caught a bat ray with this, like a 30-pound ray off a boat. So this thing has just been insane. I've caught so many fish on this. I've had this now for probably 4 or 5 years. This one I've had for about 2 years. This is one of my ice fishing setups. I mean, they cover everything. You can do everything with these reels. They are just fantastic. The one thing I will say is that you can tell this reel is cheaper compared to the other reels on this list because of the weight factor. These are a little heavy. They're coming in at around, anywhere from kind of 8 to 9 ounces depending on the size. And you can see a big difference when you get later into like number 2, number 1, number 3, and some of those real more high-end reels on this list. But either way, these things are durable. They are just absolute tanks. They're gonna get the job done. Number 2 on this list is probably the biggest competitor to the Nasi, in my opinion. I think both these reels go hand in hand. They battle it out back and forth. And although they're very similar in price and although they battle it out, I do have very specific roles for each of these reels in my arsenal. And this number 4 here on this list is going to be the Daa BG. These are coming in anywhere from around usually $110 to $130. Sometimes you can get it at $100, but typically it's going to be a little bit pricier than the Nasi. And these are the same thing as the Nasi in terms of their overall durability. These things are absolute tanks of reels. I mean, these things, there is no breaking this reel. I mean, this reel will break you before you break it. This is the 5,000 size. I got this one because it holds a ton of line. The 5,000, they've got a really deep spool, which is why I use this for my big game stuff. A lot of guys use these for sturgeon. I use them a lot for sharks and like big rays off the beach. I've got 65-pound braid on here, and it held almost 300 yards. So it almost held a full spool of line on there, which is really nice. As I was kind of talking about before here, this is more of a saltwater reel in my opinion. You can use this and you can use the Nasi both in freshwater. The Nasi is actually a better bass fishing reel than the BG is, but in my opinion, I still wouldn't use either of these two for like light finesse applications. These are more of my heavy duty, get her done type jobs. So yeah, BG coming in at number 4. I'm not saying that it's a better reel than the Nasi. I think these two are very close, but I think you can feel it's a little bit more heavy duty quality on this reel than the Nasi. Okay, so for reel number 3, we're finally getting into some more finesse bass fishing and panfish and that type of stuff. This is gonna be the Daa Tatula. So I actually have done a review on the Tatula in the past. There's a lot of different models of the Tatula, so I'm kind of encompassing all of the Tatulas into kind of one category here. The Tatulas right now, the MQ LT is gonna be coming in at around, I think it was around $200 for price. So it's still below that $250. These reels are super light. I love the Tatulas. They have a great feel to them. I'll show you guys on my Shimano Stratic here to kind of give you an idea. They're real thin handles, and this is how the Tatulas are, the same way, and they just have that real light, sensitive, just incredible quality feel. It's definitely a huge step up from the other two reels that we talked about. This is definitely for more of your bass fishing finesse. If you want, now you're kind of getting into more high-end, real good quality stuff. So the Tatula is going to be number 3 on my list. I will say there still are 2 finesse reels on this list that are better than the Tatula, and those will be the next 2 that we'll talk about on the list. Real quick though, before we get to those 2, I'm gonna add a bonus reel in here that's also in that sub $250 budget, and that's gonna be 2 different Penn reels. Number 1 is gonna be the Penn Battle, and number 2 is gonna be the Penn Spin Fisher. So the Penn Battle is gonna be, I believe it's $140 for the Battle, and then it's $120 for the Spin Fisher. Both those 2, I think they're running deals right now at the time of making this video, but both those 2 are also for you saltwater guys and just catfish and overall heavy duty big game. Those are 2 more fantastic reels for that job. They are extremely heavy, durable, tough reels. Penn makes some awesome stuff in that like sub $200 range. Yeah, just 2 more in there for any of you looking for saltwater and some of that type of application. Okay, number 2 on this list. This is technically, I would say this is still a more of a power reel in Shimano's lineup. I know a lot of guys use this for saltwater, and I think it's more meant towards saltwater. However, it is fantastic for freshwater as well, and that is the Stratic FL. So I know I kind of encompassed the Daiwa Tatulas all into one here, and I know you Daiwa fans are gonna be mad that I did that, but then with the Shimanos, I'm breaking down every single model. However, I will say there's more differences though in the Shimano stuff. Like the Shimano Stratic CI4 is a lot different than the Stratic FL. There's a lot of differences between the two, versus I think the Tatulas, they're all kind of a Tatula, if that makes sense. The Stratic CI4 is more of your finesse side, and the Stratic FL is more of your power fishing side. It's a little bit heavier, a little bit better drag, a little more heavy duty. However, it doesn't have that just as light and sensitive feel as the Stratic CI4 does. So I think that Stratic FL, for you guys that are fishing maybe like Senkos, fishing like some jigs and stuff, and you want to do it on spinning gear, that's going to be a little bit better option for you. I know a ton of guys also use that in saltwater as well and absolutely love it. The Stratic FL has tons of different uses. It's an incredible reel, and it's coming in at about $180 to $200 depending on where you get it. All right, so for reel number 1 here, this is one I've actually, I don't own personally. I don't have one here on me. However, I have fished with one. I've done a review video on one. I've got to feel one and cast it. It is incredible. It is an incredible reel, and that is the Shimano Vanford. Now, I do have here with me the Shimano Stratic CI4, and this reel right here actually was the one that the Vanford replaced. So they're very similar. Obviously, I fished the crap out of the CI4s. This is probably my favorite reel of all time, is the Stratic here. But the Vanford, it's one of those. It's coming in at $250. So it's right on the top of this list. However, if I were to do a top 5 reels under $500, this is still a reel that I would probably put on my list because it is that incredible to fish with. It's one of those reels that when you fish with it, it just spoils you. You don't want to fish with anything else ever again, right? It has, Shimano has some of that technology where you get a little bit of resistance when you reel, but it's the perfect amount that makes it super smooth to reel in, and you feel more connected with the reel. Everything's a little bit more steady. It's just so incredibly high quality. It's just the lightweight, the sensitivity. It's so durable. Guys, I love this reel. I love the Vanford and the Stratic. They're the best things that Shimano makes, in my opinion. My only complaint about the Vanford is that it could maybe be a little bit cheaper. However, if you think about it, like I said earlier with that trickle down, technology from Shimano, the Vanford has qualities and features that the Twin Powers had, and the Twin Powers now has features that the Shimano Stella had. So they're constantly bringing down old technology into their lower end reels, and they're fishing as good as these $800 reels that they made maybe 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago. Like, it's insane how good of quality these reels have gotten, and you can really see it in the Vanford and the Stratic. It's huge. I know some of you Daiwa guys are gonna be pretty mad with me on this one, but I'm sorry, the Stratics and the Vanfords are just the top. They are number one. I love Daiwa, I've got tons of Daiwa gear, but Shimano has my heart here on this list. If you guys disagree with me on this list, let me know in the comments below. I would love to know your guys' thoughts and what you guys think about this. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little breakdown here. We'll see you guys next time. My light went out, whoops. We'll see you guys next time on Humbug Videos.